For thousands of years, one law ruled civilization. Strong men build strong societies. But in the last 70 years, something unnatural happened. The alpha male, once revered as protector, provider, and pioneer, was rebranded as a villain. Not by the people, not by women, but by the same elites who profit from chaos. This is the systematic destruction of the alpha male, and the reason every power structure wants men soft, obedient, and broken. The playbook. Lump all male empowerment into one toxic category. PUAs teaching confidence, rape culture, men rejecting marriage, losers. Advocating for fathers' rights, misogynists. The witch hunts. Rush V's Return of Kings. A men's self-help site was labeled a rape advocacy group by feminist extremists. Media ran headlines like, "Should Rush V be arrested for thought crimes?" The reality? Feminist groups fabricated death threats against venues hosting Return of Kings meetups. Proof? Emails from Women's Action Collective admitting, "We need to make this look dangerous to get media coverage." The algorithmic blacklist. Google suppresses MRA content by labeling it as hate speech, while at the same time boosting feminist counter-narratives in search results and recommendations. Reddit bans men who go their own way and red pill forums entirely, yet allows feminists to vent freely in their protected echo chambers. On Wikipedia, the men's rights movement page frames it as a fringe, misogynistic backlash against the feminist movement. While feminism's core articles are tightly guarded with heavy editing protections that shield them from substantive criticism. This is not neutral moderation. It is systematic viewpoint discrimination that shields one side and silences the other. Do you notice the pattern? Any man who teaches game gets labeled as teaching manipulation. Meanwhile, female dating advice books are full of exactly that. Someone teaching self-reliance, like Men Who Go Their Own Way, gets labeled as teaching extremism. Any man pointing out biological truths or differences between men and women gets labeled sexist. This isn't equality. This is female supremacy, packaged under the label of equal rights. While feminist NGOs scream for 50% CEO quotas, demanding all the high-value air-conditioned positions without merit, they conveniently ignore the brutal truth. The most lethal and dangerous jobs in the world are all done by men. They weaponize stats like 95% CEOs are men to manufacture female victimhood, while burying the reality that for every woman dreaming of a corner office, 10,000 men died trying to escape the mines, rigs, and battlefields. They are ignorant about how society dumps its disposable males. The feminist cartel, backed by the global elite, doesn't want justice. They want power. Their goal? Make men ashamed of their very own strength. That glued civilization for thousands of years. The legal war. Policy mandates meant arresting men in 100% of domestic disputes, even when they're victims. DOJ stats show 40% of domestic violence victims are male. All we hear is silence from mainstream media in this regard. The divorce industrial complex. 97% of alimony payers are men, yet mainstream media barely covers this systemic disparity. But when women make up the rare 3% who pay, mainstream media rushes to platform their stories with sympathy, highlighting a clear double standard in how male disadvantages in divorce are ignored. Take the example of this California case from 2022. Man jailed for missing $3,000 payment. Meanwhile, his ex-wife vacationed in Bali with a new fling. And by default, the courts grant custody to women, irrespective of whether they are capable of taking care of the children or not. Worst is when men have to pay for kids that aren't even theirs. The divorce industrial complex does not spare the rich, it crushes their spirits, with prenups being thrown out, and women becoming millionaires and billionaires for being part of a failed relationship. Imagine the outrage if all men had to do to become a millionaire/billionaire was to date a girl and leave her on your own terms. That's it. No further qualification needed. Here's your check. The media blackout involves suppressing men's suffering and issues. Take the example of UN women tweeting, 11% of dead journalists are women. Funny how nobody cares and actively ignores 89% of the remaining dead men. More such statistics like 25% women are homeless, are bombarded onto men, further marginalizing their suffering. Take the case of Boko Haram from 2014. This terror group burned 1,000 men alive. Zero headlines. But 100 schoolgirls kidnapped? And it's all over the news with celebrities asking for their release, and Michelle Obama starting hashtags like, "Bring back our girls." The sperm collapse. Mount Sinai study from 2022 showed Western sperm counts down 62% since 1973. Don't forget the USDA pushed soy diets onto men, where the FDA ignored thyroid risks in 1995. The drugging of boys. Pfizer documents from 2009 confirm that they marketed Ritalin to calm aggressive male behavior. Result? 1 in 5 American boys on mind-altering drugs. The testosterone crackdown. Testosterone for older men is not authorized for age-related boosting or andropause. Prescriptions are tightly controlled to specific diagnosed conditions only. In contrast, estrogen for menopausal women is readily approved and also far more easily accessed for men transitioning. This double standard shows how male biology is policed and pathologized, while female hormones and male-to-female transitions face far fewer barriers. They're not just shaming masculinity, they're erasing it chemically. History repeats itself, and what have we learned from history? Invaders always kill the men first, then breed the women, and assimilate the children. Men are the first barriers against breaking down of an entire civilization. In 2022, Pentagon ordered drill sergeants to stop yelling in order to avoid trauma. Result? Marine failure rates up by 300%. The endgame? Weak men equals conquered society. Soros-funded NGOs push feminism to destroy family units. The World Economic Forum says, you'll own nothing and be happy. They want you weak. So you do the opposite and become unbreakable. The elite's greatest trick? Convincing men that their strength is oppression. Weak men give rise to a weak civilization, and a weak civilization can be easily taken over. In the future, when the elites deploy their UN-backed army, marching towards one world government, they don't want any nation to resist. They want nations to give in. Making men physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually weak, they achieve this very objective. As we often say on this channel, all roads lead to depopulation, and strong masculine men are the biggest threat to their plan.